What's up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here, and we are back in the world of Call of Duty. I've changed my setup a little bit because I was having some problems yesterday with my normal go-to kits, and I did recently Prestige, so I've kind of decided to play around with some of the SMGs. They seem to be pretty much as I want to fight it, the superior setup to go, and I know there's most of you, or not most of you, but some of you are like, hey dude, I do fine with assault rifles, you just suck. I do just suck, but there's a reason why 95% of the people that play this stupid game use SMGs, and the reasoning behind it is they are awesome. So I'm going to stop fighting it, and we're going to start with the MP7 and just work our way down the list. I'm also using the EMP grenades because they seem to be just absolute made of win. I don't have my anti-camper set up yet because I just prestiged. So these allow me to basically throw into a cottage or a house or whatever, a villa, whatever you want to call it before you go in, and it will give you a hit marker if anybody's in there. So you know kind of whether the building's got things in it. And the other nice bonus is it takes out all of the annoying claymores, the bouncing betties, everything. So this was the first game I played with it, and this game, as you can tell since it's 9 minutes long, was just one of the most abnormally weird games I have ever played, with just some of the most annoying pieces of shit ever. But enough about the gameplay. Let's talk about today's topic, which is a little, and I don't want to come off wrong. So I kind of want to preface this by saying I do love animals, and I think animals are awesome. I have been a dog and cat owner for most of my life. I think the past 2 years is the only time I haven't owned an animal. So I've owned a couple of different sets of dogs who have sadly had some issues over time, and several different cats. One died of old age, and 3 others had to be put down due to various illnesses. But that more or less covers our topic. Is I do want to also say that I do not consider animal life to be the same as human life. So in instances where animals, I'm going to give up on an animal a lot faster than I would give up on a human, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And what do I mean by that? All right. Control-Alt-Delete is a blog. Well, not a blog. It's a cartoon or comic or whatever the hell you want to call it that I occasionally watch and I find entertaining. Now, he apparently has a dog, and the dog has some problems. Well, apparently its throat is collapsing, like it's having a bunch of issues. And so they've been trying to keep the dog up and alive. And so they've been putting it through all of this surgeries and such. Like they slit open his throat, and then they put this mesh in it, and they sealed the throat up, and then he was okay, and then he wasn't okay, and so then they cut his throat open again, and then they tried it again, and it just blows my mind. Number one, that they're spending, and I know that sounds harsh, but that they're spending that much money on a dog, because dog surgery is, it's probably not as expensive as human surgery, but it's pretty fucking expensive. Number two, they're putting this dog through so much suffering for their benefit. And that's all it is. And I think that's my biggest issue, is I do not understand why people do this to their animals. Because for me, they're your companions. They love you more than anything, and they're awesome to have around. They are great. But if they're in pain, why do that to them? Well, I love him and I've had him for like 14 years and, well, that's fine. But don't you love him enough to not put him through that shit? I mean, I don't know. The other issue I have with this big time is dogs can't talk, and neither can cats or, except for that one in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but we're not going there. So you can't talk with an animal. So an animal's not going to tell you, dude, this fucking hurts. Stop. An animal can't tell you, dude, just put me out of my misery. And also, an animal can't tell you, dude, I need another pain med. Please. This is excruciating. So, I feel once you get to that, if it's basic stuff, like, oh, he broke his leg, let's set his leg, no, he stubbed his toe, let's put the cat down, no, nothing like that. But, when you have to cut an animal open to save their life, at that point, you got to ask yourself, do I really want to do this, number one? And number two, is the cost really worth it? I mean, obviously, the guy over there at Control-Alt-Delete's probably doing pretty good. He's making some decent cash, so I guess, for him the cost probably isn't so much a issue. But just suffering, I mean, we're talking, I don't know, man. It just, he posted pictures, and you can see this dog looks like something that came out of like some horror movie where he was stitched back together by like It's fucked up. You know, the dog's got pneumonia. They just cut him open. He's coughing. That's what causes collapse. And I don't get it. So let me know, you know, am I crazy? Is this perfectly normal? And I just need to stop killing my animals way too early? Or, you know, do I have kind of a leg to stand on here? We had a buddy, what was it, a few years ago? I went to high school with him, and his dog jumped into the pool while they were what do you call it? Swimming. Well, something happened with his ears, and they got water in them, and basically they drove the dog insane. Literally, his ears would just itch nonstop, and he clawed his own ears out till, one, he made himself deaf, and two, they bled everywhere. So, like, instead of, you know, putting the dog, I mean, like, there was some kind of issue, and I don't remember what it was. The surgery was going to cost like $2,000 to fix, and they didn't have the cash to do it. So what they basically did is they put him on an antibiotic that wasn't going to do any good, and then they put a cone on him. So this poor fucking dog, for like 3 years, would drag its head around on the ground with a cone in it on a circle, just spinning circles, trying to just scratch its ears that were just driving it insane. And they wouldn't put it down. And it's like, you know, why would you do that to your dog? Oh, you know, that was what I said. I was like, dude, why the fuck are you doing this to your dog? What do you mean? I was like, dude, he's fucking suffering. I mean, anybody can see that. This is fucking cruel. I was like, dude, this would be like, you know, me tickling your nose and then not letting you scratch it and you know, permanently. And he was like, oh, well, you know, we love him. He's been around for a while. He's not suffering, are you, boy? You know, he's patting the dog as the dog spins in a circle with its head on the ground trying to, you know, fucking kill itself. And it's just like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I understand. I mean, even if it was me or my brother, you know, there is a certain point in life where it's just not worth it anymore, you know? I mean, if I'm a cancer patient and, like, I'm terminal and it's over and it's not going to get better, and that's kind of like the discerning spot, is like when it's not going to get better and you know it's not going to get better, then that's when you start looking at other solutions. And it's just, you know, I don't think anybody wants to go out like that. You know, I don't want to spend my last, you know, year or so chained to a hospital bed in excruciating pain as the painkillers stop working, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I'd rather go out with my family, spend some last time with them while I'm healthy, and then, you know, just go out kind of, as they say, with dignity. I don't believe in that, but, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. So let me know in the comment section below, you know, am I just one of those cruel people who doesn't understand that animal life is as sacred as human life, and I just need to, you know, quit being a weirdo? Or are these people just sick fucking bastards who are basically, like I think, torturing their animals, not for their animals' sake, but for their sake? And I think that's really what it comes down to, is it's just them not wanting to let go. And, you know, if you love something and you don't want it suffering, you know, there comes a point in your life where, you know, you got to put it out of its misery, let it go, let its suffering stop, keep your memories that you had, and, you know, go buy yourself a new puppy. You know, that's as fucked up as that sounds, you know, that is part of it, you know. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I crazy? Am I not? Give me some debate on this. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, click the like button. It helps me out. Plus, it lets me know that you're liking the content. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.